Ah, shoot. What episode is this? Hello, and welcome to Factorio Rampant Pyanodon episode 13. This episode, we're going to continue on our way to working on Pi Science 1. Again, like we said last episode, I've updated this chart a little bit, but we had two basic things that we need for Pi Science 1. Basic, they're not really basic, except for basic substrate technically, but only because it has the word basic in its name. But we need basic substrate and we need glassware. And this is what we're going to be focusing on this episode. So let's get to it. Okay, so here we are in the test world, and this is basically what it's going to look like. We have 133 machines, a little bit less than the other one for basic substrate. And we're going to have a couple ingredients, right? So we are going to take coal, we're going to take stone, caged rocks, you know, the most basic of resources. I'm sure I can mine caged rocks out of the ground, molten glass, which we have, syngas, which we actually just made, and water. So again, it's pretty self-sufficient. Everything for Pi Science 1 is pretty not metal-based. But we have a couple outputs, which is interesting. We have meat, chitin, guts, brain, and then cages. Uh, again, it is 133 buildings. It should be quite a fun build. Oh, there's, shoot, seaweed. I should have made my seaweed bigger. Yeah, it looks like a lot of seaweed boiling. I mean, slaughterhouses, interesting. Doing a lot of washing, high pressuring, blah, 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 blah. Let's just get on to the build. Oh, we don't actually need syngas. That's just fuel. So really the key ingredients here are coal, stone, caged rocks, and water. That's it. Pretty resource light. Okay, so hello. This is me building at fast speed. As you can see that the burner assemblers usually are more scrunched together, but I decided to try something out, and it took a little bit longer to reconfigure than it usually did. Also learning from my past mistakes. Sometimes when you have two different types of fuel, like coal, which can be used for fuel, and coal that's actually material, it could use both of them. So I've accounted for ash and stacked ash as outputs. Here we go. We are doing the latex bars, I believe they're called. And those are the latex slabs. Latex bars are relatively easy to design. As you can see, it took like 2 seconds. Latex slabs, you can see me trying to implement the box technique I had last time. Oh, I'm implementing them again here, where I basically replaced the bottom row with boxes so that I could actually see what is going on as I design. Again, trying to keep them nice and scrunched up, trying to keep kind of like a bus in the middle. I don't call it, like a branch bus in the middle. Here we go. Making more, I think those are sodium alginate blocks or something like that. And this part took me a very long time to design. I think it's something like 4 inputs. I mean, it would be really easy to design, but for whatever reason, I'm so obsessed with just condensing everything super tightly that it's taken me forever. So as you can see here, I think I finally get a working version. Then I go ahead and test it. And I realize that the throughput is not nearly enough. So here's me testing it, and I realize, oh wow, the throughput is not nearly enough. So I just tear it down, and then I use loaders instead, which, and even this takes a little bit of time to design, but I'm able to get it after some fiddling around. A lot of fiddling around, apparently. Okay, so those squeaks you heard that was me trying to say, please like and subscribe over the course of 1 minute in hopes that it would make it to the time lapse, but it didn't, unfortunately. Here's the line build, just placing it right below the latex slabs. And then I had a bit of extra space on the left of the sodium alginate blocks, so I decided to make the creamy latex over there. And I think it fits in nicely, especially because the creamy latex also uses limestone. Also, you saw that I was checking the map again just to make sure that that it fits in the build, or that it fits in the world. Here we go, the butcher blocks. This is my first time seeing these. They're actually really cool. So we're butchering animals. This is part of Pyanodon Alien Life. So these rock things we breed, and then we bring them to these slaughterhouses, and we're butchering them up. And it's pretty cool. Here I'm reusing boilers from another build to produce steam. I wonder if there's a better steam recipe in the future, because I feel like we use a lot of burnables to run all the steam that we currently have. But anyways, I spent a lot of time fitting it and like cramming it into this like one spot over here because I thought it would be a good idea. But then at some point I just kind of tear it all down and decided to put it somewhere else because I wanted to squish the entire... I realized that there's a lot of empty space in the main bus, so I could squish the entire build by about 3 spaces if I move the boilers. So yeah, there we go. I just removed it right there, and I put it down there. And then in a second, you're going to see me basically copy paste the whole left side and move it over 3 tiles to the right. And there we go. And then here is basically where I just started decorating. I tried really hard to just like stay zoomed out so it'd be good for the time lapse, but it was super hard. So you're going to see here in a minute that I give up and I just start zooming in and going in circles super quickly, so you can't even really understand what's going on. But anyways, yeah, I'm just trying a bunch of different decorations out. Again, I'm always trying to evolve my decoration because I'm an artist, you know? Always got to put the fish turbines in where there's empty space, functional, and they look good. I love it. And at this point, I'm just trying to fix some of the... I'm just like debugging. Some of the lines aren't producing, you know. I sit back and then I realize, oh, the rubber starters aren't producing. And then I find out why. And then I basically do this a couple of times. Changing the input to the belt a couple times as well. Yeah, as you can see, like the inputs are changing. I'm draining certain lines. Put it in the comments if you read what that message was on the left. But yeah, I think at this point I'm pretty much done. Looks good. Back to you. Oh, not yet. Okay, that's now you. Now back to... Okay. I think it's stable. I've been this is 3 hours into the build. It's all nice and decorated. Everything is running smoothly, it seems. I think we finally have a stable build. I'm really trying to spend a lot of time, more time in dev, to make sure that when I when I port it over to development, that it's not when I port it over into production, that it's not broken, you know. But I think this is a winner. It looks really good. My only concern is that it's so massive. Is it gonna fit anywhere? But that's like, you know, I have that problem. I have that problem a lot, you know. So as we can see here, again, we have 6 inputs. Oh, nice. I love it when there's an even number. Rocks, sap, seaweed, stone, fuel, and coal go in. They go whoosh, 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 whoosh through the blah, 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 wow, 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 up and down, up and down. And then out comes a ton of stuff, actually. We got like brains, guts, chitin, meat. Okay, yeah. Oh, and meat has a fuel value, which is awesome because I want to throw it into the fuel line, you know? I think that is super awesome. I don't know what to do with these things, but I will figure that out when I make the rocks themselves. I feel like it can't be too bad. We have cages, ash, and then the rubber stoppers, of course. So yeah, let's go ahead and blueprint this and bring it over into our real world. Okay, now we just gotta place it. It's not as big as the other one, so it should be pretty easy to place. Okay, this might look like a weird spot, but actually it's not, because I have plans. In the next episode, I plan on reworking this, so this part wasn't gonna really exist. And I think it would look really, really nice if the 2 parts to make pi science 1 were right next to each other, because that actually makes a lot of sense. So I think... yeah, I'll just put it here. First, I just need to chop this down a little bit. Good. And now we can just kind of place it right next to it, and kind of like the lowest spot it can go to. I used to place things 2 apart, but now I'm going to place it 4 apart. And I just want to make sure that all of these are able to be placed as low as possible, so it's as far away from the main bus as possible. And I think right there is good. So now we can just build this up real quick. Okay, we're all built, except for these slaughterhouses. This is because we need to get the slaughterhouse tech. If we spell slaughterhouse here, yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and do that on the Varrock episode. So for now, we do have we have one last thing left to do, and that is to connect it up to the main bus. I'm just gonna clear this path so it's easier, and let's get to it. And that's good. This is because we forgot that this is seaweed, which we need to expand. And then this is sap, and this side's rock, which we don't have yet. This thing is the, like, mixed. It's like the meat, the chitin, the guts, the brain. We don't know what to do with it yet, so it's just gonna sit here. This one is the cages. Again, we have nothing to do with cages yet. And then this one is the rubber stopper itself. So yeah, that is done with this part. Next up, I'm gonna go expand the seaweed so that we have enough seaweed for our glassware area as well. Okay, luckily for me, seaweed is easy to get. All we have to do is say Seaweedius expandius. And there we go, our seaweed is expanded. And all we have to do for sap is cast Saparando Operando. And it's done! And next up, we just gotta combine these using some belts. And I think that should be it. Now we can just walk over here. And actually, when it gets down here, we have to re-separate or reconfigure how it's done. So let me just fix that real quick. Ba-bam! And there we go. We have added the seaweed and the sap to the line. And this brings us to the end of the episode. So we were on our way to glassware today, which was part of PyScience 1. And we finished rubber stoppers, basically. So I consider this done. And next episode, we are going to be doing something. We are going to be refactoring our Glassworks primaries completely and doing some smelting as well. But again, we are so close to PyScience 1. We are almost there. So thank you guys for coming to the episode, and I'd like to give a special thanks to my patrons, Ima, John Boy, Mastuzo, and Irrespetuzo, and then Sterling. See you guys in the next episode.